I just don't care about stuff. It's like when I moved in with my girlfriend, she had all of this stuff, and I only had a laptop bag and a suitcase. It's like in one wall, on one wall, in one room, she has it's covered in like 3 paintings, which is weird because it's the bedroom, so I don't look at it. You know, I close my eyes and I go to sleep. And her father came to visit it, and he was like, "Oh, it's so relaxing to be in this space." But that's how Eastern Europeans are, you know. Culture stuff.
Well, why do you stay with her?
I don't have a better offer.
Oh. I do weird things too.
Like what?
You know, I don't even want to say it's repulsive, but okay. All right, I'll tell you. I collect Snapple bottles off the ground.
How many of them do you have?
Maybe 10, 16 on the right, 16 on the left, 8 in the kitchen, 4 in the bathroom, so 30, 40.
Okay, so what do people say when they come to your house and see these, obsessive compulsive signs?
Oh, well, they're not lying about the house empty. I put buttons in them.
Buttons are too big, though.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know what kind of buttons you have, but mine fit in. I mean, I used to make jewelry out of buttons. Oh, okay. So I have the bottles lined up in 2 rows on mini shelves that I made out of drawers in the living room. In the kitchen, I mainly keep my tropical peach and tea filled with orange lentils, chamomile flowers, horsetail, spices. In the bathroom, I pour my Ralph and Charlie's mouthwash in, and then I put shampoo in the Nantucket nectars.
In the bottles that you took out of the garbage? Do you use rubber gloves when you...
Well, no. Are you crazy? No, that's gross.
Okay.
I would never touch garbage. I pick them up on top of snow piles. I would never touch garbage. That's gross.
Do you sanitize the bottles?
Well, yeah, I run them under hot water, but I figure the germs die on impact because of the cold once they hit the ground.
Oh no, they revive in heat actually and come to eat.
Oh, stop.
I'm a germ. So, is that your Snapple bag?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I have a ritual. I take it home, I wash the bottles out, I put them in the drying rack, and then I wash the bag and I hang it on the doorknob and I take it with me when I leave the next morning. Sometimes I wonder whose lips have touched the bottles. Thirsty people.
You know, criminals are thirsty too. No, I'm just saying, people are fucking animals.
Well, I thought that they left the bottles on the ground for can collectors for deposits. I mean, they leave the bottles on top of the snow. I mean, if I walk around my block 4 times, you know, I'm bound to find at least 2. If I walk 8 blocks, I'll find 10 bottles.
See, they don't care about their surroundings. Fucking animals, but that's how some people were raised.
But the city doesn't fine for littering on snowbanks.
Because it's more expensive to prosecute them than to clean up after them.
Okay, all right. So what you're saying is that I'm bringing criminal karma into my living room. Okay. But I do love those bottles. I mean, have you ever looked at one really closely? The labels are so pretty and yellow and bright. You know, I would love to have the job to design the labels with such artistry. And there's an S embossed in the bottle. I just don't understand how people can throw them away.
They don't have any use for them after they drink them.
But doesn't the company want them back after they've been used? I mean, I don't know, maybe maybe they think it's disgusting for buyers to drink after one another.
The company doesn't care. I mean, they just want to sell as many as possible. For all they care, the entire world could be covered in bottles.
I talked to them. I mean, they're in the freezing cold, the bottles, you know, so pretty and discarded. They deserve a better life. And you know what, so do I. You know, okay, so I talked to them. Poor, pretty, innocent bottles. I just can't seem to stop. You know, sometimes I'll pick up little miniature liquor samples, and I'll fill them with hand sanitizer and use them on the subway. The larger ones I'll fill with rice. You know, I use them as food containers. Sometimes when I'm unscrewing the cap and the waft of the alcohol fragrance, you know, it scares me. Am I a dry alcoholic? will I one day start drinking out of the blue like my father? But I never drink.
All right. Then, what do you?
Well, then I think of my younger brother. You know, he died with his flesh soaked in alcohol. You know, the autopsy doctor was saying, wasn't anybody paying attention that this kid was drinking himself to death? You know, so I clean out the bottles, I wash them, and I fill them with healthier things. You know, I also used to collect large-sized pretty wine bottles. You know, I fill them with grommets and whatnot. But then I had a friend come over, and he laughed when he saw them lined up on a filing cabinet. Said anybody that would come over would assume that I was an alcoholic. You know, so that's when I switched over to soft drink bottles. Except glass, because I really hate plastic.
No. So, when are you gonna stop?
Well, when the weather warms up. I'm not like those crazy Chinese women that walk around pushing carts. You know, okay, so I don't have a retirement plan, true, and maybe I'm just scared. You know, I'm publicly humiliating myself.
What do you need public humiliation for? You mean, what dark secrets do you hide?
Well, none, but I'm defiling myself. I mean, what if somebody I know sees me? My neighbors, you know, how would they feel about having a neighbor who picks up bottles off the ground? I mean, really, I bend down and I pick them up. You know, at first I thought people would be disgusted or shout at me. Hell, nobody even seems to notice. You know, I used to have these hot flashes of shame and would just breathe anxiously. And now I am a smooth operator. You know, I don't know, maybe it's the reassurance of living in a free country. And whose business is it anyway if I want to pick up Snapple bottles off the ground? I could always just say that I'm working on some art project that requires an accumulation of Snapple bottles. You know, and if you think about it, I actually am.
I think I know what we could do with them. If we wanted to, say, start a family, we could put donor sperm in them. And like keep it in the freezer. It's just an idea. Okay.
And you know, I've always wanted to live in California.
All right.
All right.